excited to be home because I was on vacation for 2 weeks. I was in Norway, then I went to Paris, now I'm back. It's always fun to go on vacation, but it's also pretty tiring, and I'm always extremely happy when I go back home. I don't know, just feels great. When I was in Norway and when I on my trip to Norway, because we were driving to Norway with my dad, I started working on the Olymp sweater, and it was going great. Like, I worked on it the entire trip to go to Norway, and then I kept working on it almost the entire week. That's what I was able to do. Like, I was able to make this in a week, basically. And then I got extremely frustrated with picking up the stitches for the armhole. And then I went to Paris, and in Paris I knew that I was going to see a lot of my friends. It was also my birthday, so I knew that I wasn't going to need as much, and I also knew that I didn't want to have a kind of annoying thing to do. Like, I didn't want any frustration at all. I decided to start something else. My cable is a bit too small, so it's hard to see what's actually going on. But I started the overload stripe cardigan. I think that's what it's called, by Spektakelstrik, the last cardigan that they released. That's the one. That's the one I'm making. I think it's gonna look so good. It's been pretty fun to make because it's a very easy pattern to follow. Also, I had made the sweater version a few years ago, so I knew it was a pretty easy pattern to follow. That's the sweater version that I made. I think it looks really good. It's just that I did not check the color close to my face when I got the yarn, and I just don't like the way it makes me look. Like, I feel like it makes me look ugly, sick, disgusting, and I'm really sad about that because I actually like the pattern very much. I actually want to give this one to someone because it does not deserve not to be worn. I'm sure it will look good on someone. I just need to find the right person for this sweater. So this time I was I tried very hard to find colors that I actually loved and that actually looked good when I put them close to my face. I'm actually extremely tired today, and that's all I want to do. I want to work on a simple project, and I want to make progress on this one. I've decided to use the same color of mohair throughout the entire work, like just the cream mohair, because I couldn't really find the right shade of green that I wanted, so I thought it would be better to just pick the cream one, and I'm really liking it. Like, I really like the way it looks now. I'm just obsessed with this green. This is exactly the shade of green that I like. So just to explain the process a little bit more, I started by working these parts, like the color, and then I did the increases here and in the back, like the raglan increases, and I separated the stitches for the sleeves on both sides. Like, I put them on some yarn because I don't like stitch holders. I lost a lot of stitches when using stitch holders, so I do that now. I put them on a piece of yarn. Now I only have the stitches for the body on my needles, so that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to keep working on the body until I reach the right length. Then I'm going to make the two sleeves, attach the buttons, find the buttons, attach the buttons, and then I'm going to be done. So it feels like a very easy and enjoyable pattern to make. I'm really having fun with it. really fast knit, to be honest. It only took a few days. I didn't time it. I think the next time I'm gonna try to time it because I would like to know how many hours I actually spent on this. And also I'm not done, obviously. I have to weave in my ends. I have to put all my, like the buttons. I found these. I tried a few other buttons, but I think this one was the prettiest one. These are actually natural buttons because they're what they call, I don't know what it's called, it's like natural ivory, something like that. It's from palm trees, I think. Anyway, it's a natural fiber, so that's pretty exciting too. I didn't want to have like plastic buttons. I really wanted to have something natural, so that's what I found. And also I just realized that I picked 7 and I actually need 8 because I have 8 buttonholes. So I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow again and find another one. But anyway, I have to weave in all those ends, but it's not gonna be that long because there's only like a few ends. I don't have that many ends to weave in. I'm gonna try to block it properly this time. I usually don't. I usually only steam. But this time I think it needs to be properly blocked just because it's still a bit, like it's a bit tight for now. It's, you know, if I close it, it's gonna be a bit too tight. I want my cardigan to be a bit more oversized and hopefully when I block it, it's gonna become exactly the size that I want it to be. It was also my first time using this yarn and it's definitely not gonna be the last one. I think I just fell in love with this yarn. I love the way it looks. I love how cozy and warm it is. I love all the colors that they have. I love everything about it. So probably gonna be making a lot more of these. Probably gonna be using this yarn to make more sweaters. Yes. I don't have anything. I don't have like the pins that you're supposed to use. I don't have anything. It's my first time trying to block a garment that I knit, so I'm just gonna try it this way, and if it doesn't work out and if it's still too small for me, I'm gonna just block it again. I think it's gonna be fine. I don't know how long it's gonna take to dry. Probably a day, maybe like a few hours a day. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it here and we'll see. It's kind of scary right now because I could ruin my cardigan. Like I saw some videos sometimes of people saying that they worked on a sweater or a cardigan for like tens of hours and then they block it and it's a disaster. And I'm really scared that's gonna happen, but I don't think it is. I'm trying to be as gentle as possible and it still looks good. So I think it's gonna be okay. Okay, I think I need to stop. It's kind of triggering my perfectionism as well, so I think I need to stop. I need to stop. Stop touching it, stop. But also it's gonna be like in my living room for a day. I'm gonna touch it for sure. I don't think I'm gonna be able to just leave it. That's probably not gonna happen. Let's stop in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I said stop! It's still a teeny tiny bit wet, but I've just decided to start working on it anyway because I'm going away for the weekend again, but this time it's just for the weekend. And I really want to bring it with me and I really want to wear it. I know that you're not supposed to work on it when it's a bit wet, but I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem because I'm just weaving in my hands. That's going to be like a great thing done. And then attach my buttons. I don't know why it would be a problem to do that. And then I'm going to let it dry again. So I think it's fine. I need to go back to learning how to sew a button because the only time I did that is when I did a tiny version of the champagne cardigan. I don't actually like the way that I had to attach the buttons because they were kind of sticking out a lot. When you keep your cardigan open, I think it looks a bit weird. I don't know what this pattern says because I haven't really read that part yet. But maybe they just say sew the buttons. I also really want to make myself a carrot cake for some reason this afternoon. I don't know if I'm gonna have time for this, but I bought everything to make it. I decided to stop eating sugar again. It's just a way to kind of explore other things as well. That's what I love about like removing something from your diet is that you have to explore new things, and that I think that's very fun. And also white sugar is just not really good for you, so it's funny how bittersweet it is to finally finish a project because I have wool in my mouth. I think it's funny because on one hand you're really excited because you're so close to getting the garment, and at the same time you really want to start something new. So that's exactly what happened last night. I was kind of upset that I didn't have anything to knit. It makes me feel like when you're watching a TV show and you get to the very last episode of the very last season. That's exactly the same way that I feel about this.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to attach buttons to your knitting. So I'm not going to be able to just thread this yarn through the eye of this needle, so I'm going to use a needle threader. And this is just an inexpensive little thing that you can get at any fabric store. I used to have one.
I don't have that.
You can always separate the plies. Then you can attach the button using less of the yarn, but using the same color and the same yarn. Just give it a tug though and make sure you didn't weaken the yarn so much that the yarn's going to break. This yarn would do just fine.
The yarn is too bulky to go through these tiny things. I have one ball of yarn that is Sunday by Sunday's Garn that is white. I'm gonna try with the white yarn first, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna figure something else. But I really hope that I like it because I feel like it's the easiest thing that I could do now.
Now I poke around until I can find the next hole.
Yeah, I think that's great. I just went through the holes like 2 or 3 times. 3 times, I think. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it. Like, I know you can do a crisscross, but I tried that and I don't know, I just didn't like it. So I'm doing it straight like that, okay? Okay, 7 to go.